There you go, that is our real Goan pork vindaloo. No potatoes, no tomatoes, fully cooked in the Portuguese influence. Come on. Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm Rick. Today we're doing Goan pork vindaloo. A real pork vindaloo, Portuguese style as it was. No tomatoes, no potatoes, no nothing. We're doing the original type Portuguese pork vindaloo. In here I have some chilies, which they're dry chilies, and I have been soaking them in boiling water. It's now cold, or coldish. They've been soaking for about 20 minutes. Now we're going to have to blend a paste. So we've got a blender, and we're going to stuff that lot in there, just as is. So that's going in there. Let's get rid of that water. Now this is going to be a real Portuguese old style recipe. In here, black peppercorns. I've got some cinnamon. I've got some cloves, cumin seeds. I've got some ginger and a whole lot of garlic and white wine vinegar. No tamarind, no nothing. This is a real Portuguese recipe. So I'm just going to run my knife through this ginger to help it blend. That's going in there. We're going to put some garlic in there. We're going to chuck our white wine vinegar in there. Help it blend into a paste. I'm just going to have to set this off first, I think. Can we get any more in? We can get that in there. Come on. Get that in there. Right, we want to blend to a paste. Now you might have to give this stuff a little stir as we're going along, because there's quite a lot of stuff in here. But we want a paste, and that is not a paste, obviously. That is too chunky. So let's give that a little stir up and carry on. Okay, there's our paste in there, look. We'll just leave that to one side a minute. Now in here I have what they call pork collar. Pork collar, okay? I don't know what it's called around the rest of the world. You'll have to search that. But you're wanting a good shoulder cut of pork for this one. We want a little bit of fat in here, because when this was originally cooked, they didn't use oil as such. They rendered off the pork, and that gave the oil that they needed to make the curry. However, they did use coconut oil. Okay, so the flavouring came from this and the coconut oil. So I've got some gloves on, look, because we are going to rub this paste all over this pork. Now, we need to cube this pork up. As you can see, it's got a really nice fat layer running through there, okay? Now we want chunks of pork, big chunks like that, okay? There's nothing small about this recipe, because this stuff's going to be cooked for about an hour. It's going to shrink, obviously it is. So I'm going to chuck that in there for a minute, because we're going to have to mix it up while I finish cutting this. Now with all these type of recipes, obviously the British Indian restaurant curry version is full of tomato, and they serve it with a couple of potatoes. That's just how it's been adapted, you know. And also what's happened along the way, people have introduced tamarind instead of white wine vinegar, or even red wine vinegar, you know. They're using tamarind. But that is not the souring agent that the Portuguese used. They used a wine vinegar. Okay, let's just get rid of this. So you guessed it, we want our paste on that meat. Okay, so just get it all in there, and we're going to give it a nice little massage in there and fully marinate this. This is why I'm wearing gloves, and I suggest you do the same if you do this, because of all the chili. The paste smells absolutely amazing. Okay, so being careful not to splash yourself with this. Let's bring that in all over that pork. You don't want to splash this, especially on your eyes. By heck, it stings. Now this has to marinate for a minimum of 4 hours. Now if you can do it for longer, overnight, absolutely perfect. But you have to have a minimum of 4 hours. Now that's fantastic. Now you can leave it in the bowl, or you can put it in a bag. Up to you. I'm just going to leave it in there. Okay, with this cook, there's nothing complicated with it whatsoever. We're not doing anything other than putting some coconut oil in here, frying off some onions and adding our pork and a little bit of water. So we want about 2 or 3 tablespoons of coconut oil in there. Got a nice little flame on. Now our pork has been marinating for about 9 hours. So it smells amazing actually, very garlicky, like you would expect with a Vindaloo. We are going in there with our onions. Try not to burn them, cook them soft. Just keep giving it a little stir around. We want some softening going on in there. Now you can add a pinch of salt to this if you want to help draw out the moisture, but we don't need much. A nice steady one, come on. So when you've got a little bit of softness going on with those onions, we can go in there with our marinated pork. Now all of that's going in there. That vinegar that we marinated it in, get the whole lot in there. Now what's going to happen, it's going to release all its juices and the fats. Everything's going to be coming in here. So we're going to give it a bit of a cook on here first for about 8 minutes, and then we're going to add some water. So just bring it in and start to cook that pork. Now we are sticking with the Portuguese way of cooking this, you know. Vino de halos, you know, they used wine and garlic, no tomato and no potato. Let's get it cooking. It smells exactly like a Vindaloo. Of course it does. Garlicky and sour. So it's quite a long cook really, you know. We're going to cook this for about 8 to 12 minutes, probably 12 minutes. We're going to put some water in, put a lid on, we'll cook it for an hour. And that'll break down all the pork inside. Now obviously in a pressure cooker, it's going to whiz this up, you know. It's going to eat it up. You'll be knocking it out within about 15. The whole lot. You can see there's quite a bit of fluid come out of that pork actually. We are going to be adding water anyway because we need the pork to actually cook under the fluid. But I don't think we're going to add that much. There's quite a lot in here. Okay, we got this loveliness going on there, look. We're going to add just a little bit of water. I don't think we need to go too much, actually. I was going to go about 180 mils. You know, about 3/4 of a cup, somewhere around about there. I don't think we need it. So we got that going on in there. And what we're going to do is set that to a simmer 1 hour. So get a lid on and we'll simmer that for 1 hour. And don't forget, within that time of 1 hour, keep coming along and giving it a little stir. Okay? Nothing on the bottom. Okay, what we've got going on, look, it's cooking down nicely. What we're going to do is take the lid off and we're going to give it 5 minutes without the lid on. See if we can bring some of this goodness in here. Nice and steady. There we go. Oh, that's doing nice. Look at that. That is lush. Oh yeah. That's what we're talking. Portuguese Vindaloo. Look at that. Well, I think that is absolutely fabulous in there, look. That is a fantastic little sauce going on with that pork. Let's get it served up. Come on. Come on. A real pork Vindaloo. And on there, just a little bit of green. There you go, that is our real Goan pork Vindaloo. No potatoes, no tomatoes, fully cooked in the Portuguese influence. Come on, look at that. In here on our pork, look at our pork. Look at this. Look how tender that is. Oh, that's ridiculous. Look in here. Look at it. Falling apart. Come on. Oh, in we go. Mouth's watering. Sensational. Absolutely sensational. Oh yeah. I mean, just look at this pork. I'm cutting this with a spoon, look. Look at it, falling apart. Garlicky, a little bit of sour in there. You can taste the cinnamon, you can taste the cloves. That is amazing. An absolutely amazing dish. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm into that real Portuguese style pork Vindaloo. And a little bit of roti. Okay, they didn't have that in those days, but there you go. Come on, in here. Look at that. Look at that in there. That is like a pulled pork sandwich. That is sensational. It's so soft. That truly is delicious. There you go. Share with your friends. Tell them how easy it is to make an original Portuguese Goan pork Vindaloo. Oh, that's a mouthful. And if you do like what we're doing, big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, ring that bell. Catch you in the next video.